That right there, it's called a holodeck. Place where pretty much anything can happen. It frequently does. Careful. You gotta watch yourself here. You could just as easy meet up with an old flame here, or get yourself a nice dance lesson.
Not bad.
As you could end up staring down a bloodthirsty alien.
Sing or you will die.
That sees you as prey.
Then I'll die.
Point is, whatever your wildest dream or darkest fear, the holodeck is probably the place to make it happen. So why are we here? Well, I guess it's time to come clean. You see, I'm kind of part of the holodeck myself. And for whatever reason, it seems I've been brought here to host this.
3 legendary shows. 3 unforgettable adventures. Welcome to the Star Trek Showdown, where 3 Hollywood-inspired genre classics go face-to-face in an epic battle to decide who did it best. When the captain trades his uniform for a fedora, the stakes get personal. His tuxedo's pressed, his martinis shaken, but for Special Agent Julian Bashir, danger is on the horizon. And an intergalactic saga of ray guns, rocket ships, and melodramatic masterminds. No! Stay tuned for your host for this Star Trek Showdown, Hal Masterson. The winner of the Star Trek Showdown was based on IMDb ratings from over 9,000 voters. The Star Trek Showdown is not affiliated with IMDb, but that doesn't stop us from borrowing their data anyway. And now, here's your host, Hal Masterson.
It's 1995, and just 2 weeks after GoldenEye introduces Pierce Brosnan as the newest Bond,
James Bond.
Deep Space Nine suits up Julian Bashir. Martini in hand, tuxedo pressed, and with more than a few winks to the franchise, he steps into the suave leather loafers of Bond.
Bashir.
James Bond.
Julian Bashir.
Well, basically the same guy.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, you might not be shocked to learn MGM, the studio that held the rights to Bond, didn't find the episode charming.
Shocking.
In fact, when they saw it, the powers that be raised an eyebrow higher than Roger Moore on his best day.
Illuminating.
The problem? Well, our man Bashir doesn't just flirt with James Bond. It buys him dinner, pours the wine, and then drives off in his Aston Martin. Subtle? Not even close. Let's run the checklist. Smooth-talking, tux-wearing British secret agent?
I work for one of the nation-states of this era, Great Britain.
Check. Megalomaniac villain bent on global destruction.
We will repopulate and start a new human race. Pity you won't be able to join us.
We'll put him down as a yes. Bond girls, sorry. Bashir, girls with suggestive names.
This is my personal valet. Mona loves it.
Colonel Anastasia Komonanov, KGB, Professor Honeybear.
Take your pick. And while we're at it, let's tick off the high-rolling casino. Exotic lair. Quirky henchman. And the obligatory world-saving countdown. It's all here, and the episode knows it. But our man Bashir wasn't just a timely tip of the hat to Bond. It was ambitious. Costing more and taking longer than any episode of the season, it demanded more from both cast and crew. But a quick FYI. Alexander Siddig and Anna Visitor's sizzling on-screen chemistry, well, it wasn't just devoted acting. Their romance wasn't just on film. It was alive and well behind the cameras, too.
We will be working very closely.
I'm sure we will.
At its heart, our man Bashir wasn't just DS9 doing Bond. It was Star Trek, doing what it had done well many times before. Happily breaking format when called upon, to deliver an unapologetic slice of escapist, crowd-pleasing fun. Whatever the cost. And damn the naysayers.
Now, tell me what happens next.
When the holodeck lets Jean-Luc Picard play Private Eye Dixon Hill, he believes he's got everything he could ask for. The perfect character.
I lost a bet.
The perfect case.
When that woman kissed me, it was so
Exciting?
real.
The perfect traveling companions. But when the holodeck malfunctions and bullets turn real, the one thing Dixon Hill doesn't have is an exit strategy. The big goodbye. Because when a holonovel goes sideways, escape isn't part of the plot.
And this is what you do for fun.
It's a mystery.
Okay, let's take it from the top.
From the top. From the top.
Back when the concept was still shiny and new. The Big Goodbye came along to show how the holodeck could become. A doorway to endless story potential. And when stoic intellectual Captain Jean-Luc Picard stepped into Dixon Hill's gumshoe world of Venetian blinds and cigarette smoke, you could almost hear the writers cracking their knuckles. This new invention wasn't just a gimmick. This was going to be fun. Because it didn't take long to figure out Picard wasn't just enjoying the holodeck. Patrick Stewart was enjoying playing Picard, enjoying the holodeck. And take a look at Gates McFadden here. You tell me she isn't enjoying every moment, using those dancers' feet to make that trip look easy. Which on rewatch might be the most striking thing about The Big Goodbye. It's like the first time the cast got a real spark of chemistry together. Now it'll still take years for the next generation's infamous backroom bickering to work itself out, but once the regular writing staff was in place, well, they could finally write for that chemistry. Let the cast of characters really come alive. And let's not forget that ending. What you might call the holodeck's first metaphysical moment. As Picard takes leave of a holographic ally, the man asks a tough question.
When you've gone, will this world still exist?
With an answer that isn't any easier.
I honestly don't know.
Cue the flickering neon sign on a rain-drenched sidewalk window. Dixon Hill, private investigator. Fade to black. And last but not least, unless IMDb decides otherwise,
I present Her Royal Highness, Arachnia.
a holodeck romp with the charm of Flash Gordon, the swagger of Buck Rogers, and every glorious over-the-top trope ever crammed into a B-movie serial.
We will rain destruction on the fifth dimension.
And it only happened because Voyager was on fire.
What do you mean?
I mean, actual flames. Here's how it went down. Midway through filming an episode, an electrical glitch turned part of the standing sets, including the bridge, into a smoldering wreck. It was, in a word, chaos. But as the production team doused the flames, the writers found themselves in a tight spot. They needed a workaround. A script that didn't touch the scorched sets. And when in doubt, where does the writer go? Well, naturally, the holodeck. But rather than a boring bottle show malfunction, this time, the writers had bigger ambitions. In the shape of
Captain Proton.
Spaceman First Class, Protector of Earth, Scourge of Intergalactic Evil.
this time given his own full-blown intergalactic melodrama. Complete with monochrome sets, cheesy dialogue,
We'll crush you like insects.
They are hostile.
and scenery just begging to be chewed. enter
Bride of Chaotica!
in an adventure featuring Tesla coils crackling with science, clunky alien spaceships, and ray guns that look like some kid poured them from the bottom of a cereal box. So from the ashes of a literal fire came one of Voyager's and even the franchise's most out-there episodes. But does Bride of Chaotica hold its own against the other Star Trek holodeck heavyweight genre greats? Let's find out. It's time to crown the ultimate victor.
Ready? Now!
If you're enjoying this video, please do the YouTubey things. I have a great time making these videos, so if you enjoy watching them, please subscribe, and I can make more. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for the final verdict. Based on over 9,000 IMDb ratings and separated by mere decimal points, the Star Trek Showdown represents the ultimate...
All right, enough of that. Numbers, statistics, 9,000 IMDb votes, blah blah. Decimal points. Here's what really matters. People voted with their hearts. And when the dust settled, in third place,
The Next Generation, the big goodbye.
a trailblazer, the holodeck's first big adventure, the only Star Trek to snag a Peabody, and yet,
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
yep, still third. Next up,
Star Trek Voyager, Bride of Chaotica.
it had style and bucket loads, camp turned up to 11, robots, and a guest performance so good it had the show's lead, well, let's just say cracking up. And yet, second place. Close, but not close enough to take down our champion.
The winner of this Star Trek Showdown, Deep Space Nine, with
Bashir.
our man Bashir.
Julian Bashir.
Standing tall at 7.9. Not flawless, but smooth enough to outmaneuver, outclass, and outcool the competition. Because in a holodeck world where anything is possible, sometimes all you really need is a tux, a martini, and a smart-ass send-off.
A lot of kick for a 45 Dom.
Now someone pull the plug on this thing before it starts pitching a sequel.
Oh, I think it's safe to say that Julian Bashir, secret agent, will return.
Program complete.